The Secret in the White City. In the middle of a great storm that covered the whole world, a man named Franklin decided to do something no leader had ever done before. He boarded a giant flying boat to cross the wide blue ocean in total secrecy. As the propellers hummed, he looked out at the clouds, carrying a heavy burden of responsibility but a heart full of hope. He was going to meet a friend to plan how to bring peace back to the earth. Across the sea, another man named Winston was also on the move. He was a man of words and big ideas, often found with a pen in his hand and a look of fierce determination. He traveled through the bumpy air, heading toward the coast of Africa. He knew that the world was watching, even if they didn't know exactly where he was hiding. He carried his own maps and a spirit that refused to give up. They met in a beautiful place called Casablanca, a white city where the sun turned the buildings into glowing pearls. The air smelled of salt from the Atlantic and jasmine from the gardens. When Franklin and Winston finally saw each other at the Grand Villa, they didn't just talk about history, they talked about the future. They sat in the warm breeze, surrounded by palm trees, ready to get to work. The villa became a hive of activity. Winston spent hours in the library, pacing back and forth. He stared at a massive map pinned to the wall, tracing lines with his finger. He knew that every move they made was like a giant chess game, but the stakes were the lives and freedom of millions of people. He stayed up late into the night, the light of a single lamp casting long shadows behind him. Franklin joined him, and together they debated their biggest idea yet. They decided that they wouldn't stop halfway. They wanted a world where the shadows were completely gone. Franklin looked at Winston and said that they must demand unconditional surrender. It was a bold choice, a way to tell the world that they were fully committed to a future without fear. Even with the weight of the world on their shoulders, the two friends found a moment of peace. Franklin loved the colors of the Moroccan sunset, and Winston loved to paint. They traveled to a spot where the Atlas Mountains rose like giants in the distance. They sat together in silence, watching the sky turn pink and gold, remembering that beauty was exactly what they were fighting to protect. But the meeting wasn't just for the two of them. They needed to bring others together too. A tall, proud man named Charles arrived. He was a leader who had lost his home to the shadows and was eager to take it back. Franklin sat with Charles in the garden, listening to his dreams for his country. It wasn't always easy to agree, but they knew they needed each other. Winston met with another leader named Henri. They walked through the tiled hallways of the villa, discussing how their soldiers could work as one. It was like fitting together pieces of a puzzle that had been scattered by the wind. Winston spoke with passion, shaking Henri's hand to seal their promise of cooperation. Finally, the time came to tell the world what they had decided. They sat on the lawn behind the villa as reporters and photographers gathered. Under the bright Moroccan sun, Franklin and Winston announced their plan for a total victory and a lasting peace. The sound of camera shutters clicking filled the air like tiny heartbeats, capturing a moment that would change the course of time. As the conference ended, Franklin boarded his plane once more. He looked down at the white city of Casablanca as it faded into the distance. The journey ahead was still long and difficult, but he wasn't afraid. He and Winston had built a bridge of friendship and a plan for hope. The storm was still raging, but for the first time, they could see the light of dawn on the horizon.